Hello guys, my name is Dr. Varun and you are watching Chlorophyll classes only on YouTube. Well, on this channel, we actually debunk all the issues with the biology for your NEET preparation as well as for your academic preparation also. Well, till now we have for the 11th class completed 3 chapters, that is first 3 chapters, the living world, biological classification, plant kingdom. Today we are starting with our 4th chapter from 11th syllabus. Well, let me know that whether you are able to understand the things or not in the comment section. Give me a like, share it if you like this video because that motivates me a lot. Meanwhile, coming back now, very important before to start that, how's your NEET journey going? Are you still on the track or you feeling the heat because of physics and chemistry? Along with bio, although I am tackling it, so you don't worry. If you're following this channel, I make sure that your NEET 2026 would be the bangest of the all examination till your life. But what about the other subjects? Do let me know that and how I can help you out. Okay, stay motivated because we have to crack it. Let's just start the chapter. So animal kingdom, remember we are studying what? We are studying about the R.H. Whittaker classification system. So R.H. Whittaker, so according to that classification, classify organisms, it's just a recap, okay, organisms into 5 kingdoms. What were those 5 kingdoms? Monera, Protista, Fungi, Plantae and Animalia. With our 3 first chapters, we have completed the first 4 kingdoms. Okay, now it's the turn for the 5th and the last kingdom to do it. So according to him that Animalia has certain characteristic. Okay, so 5 kingdoms and kingdom Animalia has certain characteristics. Now, if you remember that, what are the basis of its 5 system classification? What is the cell structure? What is the number of cells present in the organisms? What is their mode of nutrition? All of these things, cell wall and all of these things were taken into account. So these becomes what? The basic characteristic of all the animals. And let's just see that what else would be the characteristics of it. So according to R.H. Whittaker, certain characteristics was there. What was those characteristics? Number 1, they are multicellular. Next, their cell type is what? Whether it's a prokaryote or eukaryote. Difference between prokaryote and eukaryote is what? Prokaryote means primitive nucleus. Eukaryotes means few, like proper cell membrane is there. Okay, sorry, proper nuclear membrane is there. Okay, so that is what they are, eukaryotic. We will learn about these organelles later on. Okay, after eukaryotic, the next thing is whether their cell wall present or absent. In their case, cell wall is 100% absent. So cell wall absent. Moving to the next one comes what kind of nutrition it is there. They are heterotrophic and more holozoic. They take whole of the body of the organism or the bite of the body. Okay, so they are what? Heterotrophs, means dependent on plants directly or indirectly. Okay, what does that means? For example, you know about the food chain. We have what? Grass is eaten by the deer and the deer intake is eaten by what? Tiger, right? But the grass is not directly eaten by the tiger, but indirectly grass help in survival of the deer, and deer is the food for it. So this is what indirect way it is linked to the grasses. Grasses are what? They comes under the producer category. Okay, so producers are very important for the survival. So heterotrophs are dependent on the producers. Producers means which form the food. On this planet, the food is formed by the plants only. And look of us, we are just killing them without thinking of it. So this thing is there. After that, after heterotrophic mode of nutrition, this kingdom is also being called as metazoa. Okay, so here only I am writing it. Sometime it can be written as metazoa. Okay, sometime it is called as like this. Next thing is More than this, other characteristic features that could be there is what? They show locomotion. But here one exception is there, that is phylum. Like, you know, like there is a hierarchical divisions. What are the hierarchical divisions? That kingdom will be there, phylum will be there, right? So there also multiple phylums are there. We will learn that, but before learning to the phylum, let's just see that locomotion is not seen by all the animals. Now you'll be like, sir, but all the animal moves, sir. Okay, how come non-moving is an animal? There is a one category, that is Porifera, which is the basics, which do not move, okay, at all. Okay, so what is this? Yeah, so locomotion is there, and exception is what? Except phylum Porifera, their members are not able to move. So they are what? They are sessile. Sessile means unable to move. Okay, sessile, or it is also called as sedentary. That is unable to move. Unable to move, and they are attached to the substratum. Substratum is what? Surface, like the trees. Okay, and attached to substratum. Substratum is what? Surface. Okay, this thing is understood. Next is what? Next is there nervous control. Okay, so that is also there, but except nervous control is not present in Porifera. Now after this we're gonna be studying about that nervous system. Okay, so in nervous system case, what is there? That normally every animal cell has a nervous system except Porifera. Then you were like, ayo sir, then if they don't have nervous system, they can't move, why they have put it even the plant kingdom? We will see that, okay, why that happened. Okay, so everyone has except phylum Porifera. They don't have any sort of nerve cell present in its body. Let's just dive into the types. So here we have to remember, and I will give you a mnemonic also, and you can make your own mnemonic also, right? Here I will let you know. Let's just start that classification. So animal kingdom is classified into, now tell me how many divisions were present for the plants? 5. How many were present for the protista? 5. How many were present for the fungi? 4. How many was present for the monera? 2. Okay, here what happened? It is 11. Now you're like, ayo sir, 11, how we will learn? You will learn it. Just think like that. There is a what we say, that way of learning it. The way of learning is that if you have seen the plant kingdoms, the plants from the basic becomes very what we say, the complex kind of it, right? Simplest to the complex. Here also simplest to complex looking organism. And who is the most complex? Us. Look at it. Look, our body has self-consciousness also. First chapter, if you remember. So we are the most complex organisms. Okay, so we would be the highest one over there. Okay, so animal kingdom is classified into 11 phylums. And this we have to remember one by one. First we will remember the thing, and then we will learn it by a trick, which I have made it. Very vague trick. You can make it much better than this, but I remember it by that. Okay, so that is phylum. Okay, first I should tell you the trick, right? So the trick is very easy. That is, please call Chinky Pandey. Who is Chunky Pandey? Chunky Pandey is a Bollywood some actor. Ananya Pandey, na? Her father. Okay, so please call Chunky. Okay, completely ready. Please call Chunky Pandey as all awards might end his career. Did you really think so that anyone can get their career totally end up because of the awards? Yes, if you bought them. Right? So let's just see that what it is. So all of them what? Different phylums. Okay. Let's just see this. Phylum. All are phylums. So we're gonna be writing. Okay. First we are just writing it so that you can remember. So P for the first phylum is Porifera. Sir, the same one na, which do not have a nervous system and can't move. Yes, so they are the basic one because they don't have the basic things also. Okay, then from C comes the Coelentrata. They are also called as Cnidarians. C is what we say that silent. Okay, I also forgot what I have to say. Then the next C is the Ctenophora. Ctenophora. Then comes P. P is for the Platyhelminthes. Platyhelminthes. Then A. A come for Aschelminthes. Aschelminthes. It is also called as nematodes. Nematodes. Moving on, the next A is for the Annelida. Next A goes for Arthropoda. Next M goes for Mollusca. Then E goes for Echinodermata. Then H goes for Chordata. And the last one goes for Chordatas. So what it is? Please call Chunky Pandey, as all awards might can end his career. So it starts from what? Porifera. After Porifera, we have Coelentrata. After Coelentrata, we have Ctenophora, Platyhelminthes, Aschelminthes, Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata, Hemichordata, and Chordata. If you read it again and again, write again and again, you will remember it. You don't even need this mnemonic also. Okay, so let's just start with the next thing, that is animal kingdoms are how classified on the basis of different characteristics. So first of all, you have to remember that broad categories has been divided. One is called as parazoas, other is called as euzoas. Okay, eumetazoas. Okay, so parazoa means which are primitive. Primitive is what? Porifera only. Rest all of the phylum comes into the eumetazoas. Okay, so animals are divided. Animalia is divided into two. What are the two of them? One is parazoa and another is eumetazoa. Eu means true. Okay. So parazoa ones, they are what? The cells are present as a loose aggregate. They're not properly cell aggregates, like tissues are not present in there. Okay. So here what happened? Cells are present as loose aggregates and do not form tissue. Example, phylum Porifera. And study of parazoa is called as parazoology. Okay, so means study of Porifera would be this. Okay, phylum Porifera. Okay, next eumetazoas. They are what? They are multicellular. Okay, so cells combines to form tissue, organs, and even organ system. Examples: phylum, Coelentratas to Chordatas. All of them are what? Eumetazoas. Okay. Now let's see that what are the different bases of the animal kingdom classification, and one by one we will go with it. Okay. So the next thing is basis of classification, which we have to study. So what are they? We're going to be starting with number one, the level of organizations. Level of organization. We will do it in detail. First, we are just writing it down what all we have to remember. After level of organizations, we need to know about the body plan. After that, we need the germ layers. Then we have coelom. Then we have symmetry. After symmetry, we have segmentation. Then we have the circulatory system. Then we have the digestive system. And we will also see the notochord. These are the different level of classifications that we have to do. Let's just start with the first one, that is level of organization. So the first one is level of organization. Now, what is level of organization means? How many types of cellular modified structures present. Now basically we know that they are all multicellular, but what are the levels in that? Okay, means what? Cells are what? They are the basic unit of life. They are what? Basic unit of life. But these cells comes together and form a multicellular structures. Okay, cells comes together and form multicellular structure and a living being, of course. So grades are on the basis of that how much cells are coming up and how much different things they are making up. Okay, so starting with the first one, that is cellular level. Cellular level. So in cellular level, what will happen? That cell aggregates will come. Means cells will come, but they don't form tissues. Okay. So what will happen? Cell aggregates. Okay. Cell aggregates as a loose structures. Okay. As loose structure, not forming tissues. Not forming tissues. Okay, example is what? Phylum Porifera. This is very basic. We will learn about its body, it's how it looks like, but here you have to remember this. Moving to the next one, after the cellular level, the next thing is the tissue level. Tissue level of organization. In tissue level of organization, what happens? Cells comes together, form a collaboratively structure. Okay, so what happens? Cells comes together and forms what? Tissue. Example of this is what? Phylum Coelentrata and phylum Ctenophora. You have to remember these things. These examples is your questions in itself. Okay, then comes the next one, that is organs level. So when the first organs are being formed. Okay, so organ level of organization. Okay, so in organ level of organizations, what is happening? Tissues, different tissues comes together and forms what? Organs. Okay, and this scene is seen for the first time, or the organism which has just the organs present, that is Platyhelminthes. Okay, so we have what? We have phylum platyhelminthes. And then comes the most advanced version, that is organ system level. Organ system level. In organ system level, what happened? Different organs comes together and form organ system. Like for example, if you have what? Esophagus, you have stomach, you have liver, you have pancreas, you have intestine. These all together will make what? A digestive system. So this is what? Organ system level of organization, which is present in us also and present in lot of organisms also. Okay, so examples would be what? From phylum Aschelminthes to the Chordatas, all will come. Phylum Aschelminthes to Chordata. That's it. So you understand that what happened? This is for different level of organization. So cellular level seen by Porifera, tissue level seen by Coelomate and Ctenophora, organ level Platyhelminthes, organ system level Aschelminthes to Chordata. This is your question also. Okay, they will give you match the following, and this will become the question also. Understood this thing? Let's just go towards the next way of classification, that is on the basis of body plan. Okay, so the second is body plan. Now what is body plan? Body plan, that how the body is being made up of. Okay, when it's a time it is being made up of, how it started making up and what it made. Okay, so there are 4 different plans present to it. What are the 4 different plans? So body plan we have, okay, so the first one is cell aggregates. Cell aggregate name itself says, what it says, that certain cells comes together and started working like a association. Okay, but they are not forming tissue also. Okay, so in cell aggregates, beta, what happened? This is what cells are present as loose aggregates. So this is seen in what? This is the important thing. Examples. It is seen in the phylum Porifera. Okay. Then from the loose, cell aggregates, the next comes the blind sac. Blind sac means what? Sac is what? A pouch. So this structure is what? Blind sac means it has only single opening. Sac has what? Single opening. What is sac? If you remember earlier, you used to play that, na? That sac, like you take some sac and you do this race, sac race, okay, bag race, something like this. So same sac. Sac has what? Only one opening. So means what? This is the body type, looks like this with a single opening. Okay, so it is what? Single cavity is present. Okay, for digestion and happening only one opening, which acts like both mouth and anus. So means food will also go like this, comes out also like this. This is how the sac is, na? You put the things inside the sac and you take out things inside from the sac, from that same hole only. I hope you have understood this. Cavity, single cavity is present for digestion. Acting as both mouth and anus. So means when we are putting the balls inside the bag, it is acting like mouth. We are taking the ball out from the bag, it is acting like anus. Okay, so here the examples you will remember. The example for this is what? Phylum Coelomate, phylum Platyhelminthes. Next come that, okay, in between Coelenterata and Platyhelminthes, there is what? Ctenophora present, sir. What about Ctenophora? Ctenophora has atypical one. Okay, so it has what? Atypical body plan. In atypical body plan, what happened? It has one mouth and two anuses. God knows what they are making. Okay, so it is like this. For example, this is the organism. This is the mouth. But further the cavity, this structure which I'm making, it's a cavity. Okay, it's like what? Your digestive system, like your mouth, esophagus and all those things. Okay, and this is what? This is anus. So it is what happened? One mouth but two anus. Example is phylum Ctenophora. Okay, remember this. After this comes the last one, that is what called as tube within tube. Okay, that is what? Tube within a tube. Now in this what happened? The digestive system is present within the alimentary canal. Okay, it is also called as alimentary canal or gut or anything, with having two pores, two openings, one acting as mouth, other is acting as anus. Okay, and here also there are two different types of organism, proteostomes and deuterostomes. It depends upon whether they are proteostomic type of growth or the deuterostomic type of growth. What is proteostomic type of growth? In proteostomic type of growth, the mouth will form in the embryo. Means you know that all will what? Present inside the growth phase. During the growth phase, means for example, think everyone for now. Okay, what we were thinking? We are thinking that everyone is like what? Us. So inside our body, female body, what will happen, beta? There will be womb that will be growing, fetus, a baby will be growing. The baby will either make, for example, if the baby is making first mouth, then we call it they are what? They are proteostomic. If they are making anus first, then we are calling they are deuterostomes. We are deuterostomes organisms because we belong to deuterostomes. Okay, in our case, when we were being formed inside the mother womb, first our anus was formed, then our mouth was formed. Okay, so this thing is there. So tube within tube is what? The digestive system or this digestive tube is present with, digestive tube is also called as gut or alimentary canal. Remember two other words. Okay, with two separate openings acting as mouth and anus. Example, rest out, Aschelminthes to Chordata. Example, Aschelminthes to Chordata. Okay, and I told you what? There are two types. What are the two types? Two types were based on whether the mouth forms first or the anus forms first. So first type is proteostomic type. Those who will have that, they will be called as what? Proteostomes. Okay. Another is what? Another is deuterostomic type. Deuterostomic, the one which will have that will be called as what? Deuterostomes. Humans are what, beta? Deuterostomes. Okay, so what will happen? Proteostomic takes place in what? Proteostomes. Deuterostomes in deuterostomes. Okay, let's just see that what it's all about. So in this case, what happened? First opening develops is mouth. Anus is formed later. Now in deuterostomes, what happened? First opening develop is anus, and mouth formed later. Mouth forms later in developmental time. Okay, later in developmental phase. Which phase? Embryonic. Okay, when they are in the mother womb. Now examples you have to remember, which is the most important one. Here only the confusion starts. Okay, so they are what? How many of them? So they are 4 you have to remember, and last three is deuteriostomes. That is what? Aschelmanthus, Annelida, after that Arthropoda, and even the Mollusca. Okay, next example in case of deuteriostomes would be what? Echinodermata, Hemichordata, and Chordata. Now here if you see the evolutionary, I told you what? From the simple organisms, complex organisms we are studying. So can you tell me from this till now, this fact what we have studied, are we evolutionary closer to Mollusca or we are evolutionary closer to the Echinodermata? If you are thinking that we are evolutionary closer to Echinodermata, you are correct compared to Mollusca. Why? Because see na, that they are also forming what? Anus first. Okay, we are also forming anus first. Okay, so same kind of structures are there. This is how we evaluate that how close relationship a organism has and how closely they might have formed in the evolutionary history. If you learned this unit well like this, understood it, who will come first or last, your evolution chapter would be so easier. Keep on remembering this fact. Okay, so if I had to write a question over here, I would be writing what? So chordatas are evolutionary closer to echinoderms than Mollusca. That's it. That's all about the body plan. So there are what? 4 different body plans. First is cell aggregates. Then we have blind sac. Then we have what? Atypical. And then we have what? Tube within tube. Who is having each? You have to remember. Let's just go to the next one. That is what? Germ layers. After this, the next we will be starting with the germ layers. What are germ layers? Here you have to understand the thing, okay, because that's very important, because this thing is the part of the last year paper also, question in the paper, like question in the question paper also. Okay, so that is what? Germ layers. Let's just see that what are germ layers. Now germ layers which will give rise to something, okay, but how it is actually forming. So they are talking about your embryonic life. Embryonic life means what? When like you might have studied the sexual reproduction in 10th class. What happened in that? Male sperm, female egg. They comes together, they form zygote. Zygote will develop into the baby. How it will develop into the baby? This is the question. So basically how it develops into the baby. So first remember that this is your what? Your female egg and sperm. Okay, they will form what? They will form what? Zygote. So imagine that this is the zygote. Now the zygote will rapidly divide. It increases its cell number. Okay, so it increases its cell number. Okay, so multiple cells form like this. It looks something like this. All are what? Different cells. Okay, so this is what? Multiple cell conditions came. This is how the zygote is forming what? Multicellular. But how it will actually form the next thing? So next thing what happened? Your embryo which is present, we are not studying every step what is happening, we are just studying that these layers of the cells, they come into the 2 of the layers, means it forms 2 layers, and these 2 layers are, you know what beta, this is us. Means what does sir mean to say that? Sir mean to say that these 2 layers which are present over here, they only gonna be forming us. Okay, along with that there will be a certain layer. When we are just look like this now, so this is what, this is baby in two layers. When the baby is in two layers, we call it bilaminar. Okay, this is a situation of bilaminar. Then what happened? This baby, all this layers will form what later on forms the structures. Means what? These layer only will form organs. Like for example, these layer will form all the organs, and finally the body of baby. Because all the organs are there, means body is formed. Okay, body of baby. Okay, so will form. Now, okay, we understood this thing. On this basis, everything, all the organs will be formed and the human body will be formed. So means the basic structure that should be there in our body means these germ layers. So these germ layers might have certain names also present. Let's just go through it one by one to that point. So first thing is what? They are formed during what? Embryonic. This is what? Embryonic layers. Okay. So germ layers formed during embryonic development. Embryonic development means right now they are not present. They have been changed into what? Changed into certain organ, gland or something. Okay. From during embryonic origins, give rise to tissue and organs. Okay. Give rise to tissue / organs. Okay, what are these layers? Three layers are there. I have made the two, but later on three forms. In some organism only two present. So two will form, later the third will form in some of them. Understood the fact? So there are what? Three germ layers are there. From outside to inside, I am gonna show you. Okay, so what are these? They are ectoderm, which is the outer layer. Outer layer. Okay. Then we have endoderm, then we have mesoderm. Mesoderm, which is what? Middle layer. After that, we have what? Endoderm, which is the innermost layer. Endoderm, inner layer. Inner layer. Okay. After this, if someone will ask you that how we will distinguish. So imagine that this is the structure. Okay, in this structure there is what? In the center, you know now what we have studied? Body plan now. So mouth and anus means in the center of your body, this mouth, esophagus, stomach is going in the center. So this is what? This is your gut. So what is this? Gut. Okay, so we will write it gut. Gut is what? Digestive tract, alimentary canal, whatever. This gut is lined by a layer of a cell. This layer of a cell is called as what? This is your endoderm, innermost layer. Now, outermost layer means your this structure, skin and all. That is what? I will remember it with another layer. And that layer is called as what? It is called as ectoderm. Ectoderm. And in between it, there is presence of a layer called as what? This layer. Okay, this layer is called as mesoderm. Okay, so this is what? Mesoderm. So these kind of three layers are there. Now in certain organisms, there are only two layers present, means ectoderm and endoderm. They are called as diploblastic. Di means two, so diploblastic organisms. But there are certain organisms which have all the three layers. That is what? Triploblastic animals. And here comes the examples which you have to remember. Okay, so let's just see that germ layer basis differentiation. So germ layers, like number of germ layers, it can divide the things. Okay, what are the things? We have a diploblastic organism and we have triploblastic organisms. Okay, diplo means di means two, means it has what? Only two layers. Diplo means two, blastic means layer, whereas triplo means three, blastic means layer. 3 layers would be there. What are the 3 layers? All the 3 layers means ectoderm, mesoderm, endoderm, right? But in diploblastic only 2 layers, ectoderm, endoderm, no mesoderm. Instead of mesoderm, they have what jelly-like structures which do not have any cells, and that is called as mesoglia. Okay, so this we have to remember. So let's just see what happened in the diploblastic. 2 layers. What are the 2 layers? Ectoderm and endoderm present. Whereas all the 3 layers present means ectoderm, mesoderm and endoderm present, right? So mesoderm is absent. Mesoderm is absent. Instead, a gelatinous acellular layer is present called mesoglia. Always remember this. Okay, that is what mesoglia. Okay, it is undifferentiated. You can't tell it that what it is forming. Okay, so it is undifferentiated layer. You can't even tell that it is present. Okay, no tissue, nothing is there. Okay, here comes the next thing, that is the examples. So here the examples are what? Phylum, Porifera, Coelomate and Ctenophora. Whereas examples of this is what? Platyhelminthes to Chordata. So now the question will come that who is the first triploblastic organisms? Platyhelminthes. Understood the question? So I told you what? First and this is an important question. First triploblastic organisms are what? Platyhelminthes. Okay. Next is coelom. Okay, the spelling is the spelling is coelom. Coelom. Now lot of teachers in our country call it coelom. There's nothing called coelom. Okay, it is coelom. So remember it. Now what is coelom? It is also what? First of all, I will talk in basic. Coelom is what? It is a body cavity. C for coelom, C for cavity. So this is what? It is a body cavity. Okay, let's see that. What we have studied till now. We have studied, like for example, this is your body type, right? Like if you will cut me from here, like you did what? That you took that one saw and you were like tick, let cut, sir. After cutting me, what you will find? You will find my whole body structure would be something like this. Okay, it will be like this, right? So there will be what? You will see it from, like for example, this you cut it, now you are seeing it. When you are seeing it, you will see what? One layer is this. Okay, what I told you that 3 layers would be there, right? So this is outer layer, center would be what? My gut would be there, and around it layer. Now think yourself, when we were studying that, everywhere this thing was there. Wait. Everywhere, this is what? It is filled with the cells. Then where will be the organs? Think yourself, beta. So for the organs, we need to provide some space. So organs which required space, what will happen? The space would be formed. That space that will be formed is called as what? Is called as coelom. Understood this thing? So what was coelom, beta? Coelom is the space present inside my body. Okay, and in that space your body organs would be there. Okay, so I'm gonna be writing it that way only. Okay, let's see what it is. It is what? internal space present inside body of organisms. Now you have to remember that I said that there might be layers where the space would be formed. Let's just see that. For example, what we have done so far, we have done that this is our outer layer, okay, then this is what, this is your gut, okay, around gut we have what, endoderm present. Now where would be the organs? All the organs would be present in this space, because outer layer can't form, inner layer can't form, this is the maximum portion. This portion has what? We told that there is a mesoderm present, right? We used to call them mesoderm is there. Okay, so this mesoderm layer will be separated. And as it will be separated, what will happen, beta? It will form space. That space is what? Coelom. And this space will acquire what? It will acquire what? Our organs. Organs present here. So space is needed enough for that. Understood? So we understand what it is. Let's just see more about it. Now, this area where the organs are present, where the normal mesoderm is present, in this area, means these cavity will be lined by what? Mesoderm, because you are what? You are separating the mesoderm cells and making the space over here. So you did what? You made a space over here like this. But this space is covered by each side what? By the mesoderm only. So this cavity is what? The cavity is lined by mesoderm. Very important. Lined by mesoderm on all the sides. On all the side. Okay. Completely lined by mesoderm. Okay. And where it is present? This cavity is present between the gut and the body wall. So this is what? Ectoderm. Ectoderm is forming what? Body wall. This is what? My body wall. Okay. So gut is this and body. So this is present between what? It is present between body wall and gut wall. And wherever the organ is not present, that space has what? Fluid present. That fluid is called as tissue fluid, interstitial fluid, or extracellular fluid. Okay, so or the coelomic fluid. Okay, it is filled with fluid. Filled with fluid called coelomic fluid, also called as, let's see, just coelomic fluid. Okay, it is filled with it. Now on the basis of coelom, we have divided the organisms because different types of coelomatic evolutionary history is there. Okay, so coelom, it is coelom. No one will say that coelom. Okay, always remember it is coelom. Okay, three types are there. Okay, the number one is acoelomate, where the coelom is not present. Okay, so there is what? Acoelomate. Now think, we used to say what? We used to say that mesoderm will be lined. If the mesoderm itself is not present, means coelom also not present. We will remember this fact. Okay, so those organisms which do not have mesoderm is what? Porifera, Coelomata, Ctenophora. We just studied, right? One more organisms which do not have, that is Platyhelminthes. And Platyhelminthes is only organism which, or the only phylum which has mesoderm but coelom not present. Because in the evolution, God be like, Array, I am tired, I don't want to do more work, let's leave them, no need to give them anything. Okay, no need to give them any space. Okay, so they don't have. So we will remember it like that way. So acoelomate is what? A means wherever the word A coming, remember this, without. Coelomate means without coelom present. So no coelom is present in them. No coelom. Okay, so example is what? Porifera, Coelomata, Ctenophora, and platyhelminthes. Platyhelminthes. Okay, now platyhelminthes is the only group which has a mesoderm but no coelom present into it. Okay, so only triploblastic, and these are the questions. Okay, only triploblastic which lacks coelom. So how they will look like means there is a space present. This is what? This is the outer layer. Okay, and this is what? Ectoderm. In the center we have a gut. This is the endoderm. Okay, and in between there is what? No space present. This is what? Mesoglial layer or the mesoderm if it's present. It is showing no space. These are what? Cells present or the gelatinous layer present. Okay, I hope this thing is understood. Okay, so it looks like this. This is what? Ectoderm, endoderm. This is forming what? Body wall. This is gut. Okay, and this is what? Mesoderm in case of platyhelminthes, or it will be what? Mesoglia in case of the first three: Porifera, Coelomate and Ctenophora. Understood? Let's move on. The next thing is, after coelomate there is what? Pseudocoelomates. Pseudo, what you might have studied? Pseudopodia. So pseudo means what? False. So means it's a false coelom. Okay, so means something has been done by the nature, means cheating has been done. Okay, so if the cheating is done, something would be not perfect. Okay, so means when we cut these organisms, they look like, okay, there is a space present, but in a reality that space is not properly present. That is not completely covered by the mesoderms and all those things. Let's just see what is happening. So this is what? False coelom. Okay, not completely lined by, not completely lined by mesoderm, means these organism has mesoderm present. Okay, because after platyhelminthes, of course, mesoderms will be present because platyhelminthes also has a mesoderm. Okay, so mesoderm is present in the form of pouches over here. And then we were like, okay, what is this? This pouch is being formed, not completely lining the organs. That's the problem. Okay, so what is what? Mesoderm. Mesoderm is present as scattered pouches in between endoderm and ectoderm. And this is seen in case of what? Aschelminthes. You will remember it. Aschelminthes. Aschelminthes is also called as what? Nematodes or nehelminthes. So here let's see that we made a circle. They have what? This is ectoderm. This is what? Your gut. It has what? Endoderm. Now what happened? Your mesoderm is present like this, pouches. This is it. Means they have not completely formed it. Scattered pouches of mesoderm is there. Ideally, they should do what? It should completely cover up this area, this coelomatic areas, but it is not there. Okay, close. So these are what? These are the scattered pouches. Scattered pouches of mesoderm cell. This is ectoderm. This is endoderm. Understood? So this is the problem. Proper complete seizing of the thing is not there. Okay, all the side, like this is the coelom area, it is not being properly covered by the mesoderm. Mesoderm is present like pouches here and there. Next come the euderm, eucoelomates. Eucoelomates. Eu means what? True coelom. Means properly coelom is present and it is what? Completely lining this. Okay, so here what? Mesoderm completely lines lines the coelom. Now here it is of two types, schizocoelom and enterocoelom. Schizocoelom is primitive, enterocoelom is more advanced. Okay, so I'm gonna be going to the next page to do it. Okay, eucoelomates. Okay, in eucoelomates we have, first one is schizocoelom, another one is the enterocoelom. Very important for you. Okay, now the schizocoeloms is what? That there is a split present throughout it in the mesoderm. Okay, so what happened? Imagine that, let's see a page. I don't have a page here. Okay, wait, I will bring the page. Okay, okay. Imagine if this is the mesoderm, what happened? The split occur like this throughout it. Okay, means it is just what? It will be going and joining over here. So it is what? Split is like this. Properly the split is like this and it's completely joined. Understood? So let's just see about the schizocoelom. So proper split. So schizo, what it means? What? Split. So if I have to make it, this is the ectoderm, outer layer. What I am making, these are the cells beta. Don't get confused. This is what? This is the gut. This is what? Endodermic cell layer. Okay. Now what happened in between this area? Means this whole area is what? This whole area is your mesoderm. See, like this. So I am just coloring it up. Okay, just to make it look even. Okay, so this which I have made it, this thing is what beta? This is your mesoderm. In this mesoderm, split comes the way I have shown you in the paper. Same thing. So here what happened? This split came like this, and in this split area, that space that is formed, it is what? Coelom. Okay, so this is what? This is the coelom. And inside it only organs will be there, and around it this is being what? This is also covered by the mesoderm on the all sides. So schizocoelom is like this. So, and what about the enterocoeloms? In enterocoelom beta, what happened? See, this is the ectoderm. This is the gut. This is the endoderm. And now what happened? The mesoderm gets splitted up like this. For example, this is the mesoderm, splits like this, goes to the ectoderm and comes like this. Means the splitting start from this area. Okay, and it splits like this. Splits like this. So multiple these kind of structures will be formed over here. So another mesoderm split and completely form structure like this. Another will form. So another will split, goes to the ectoderm, again like this splitting. So if this kind of splitting is being observed, this is called as enterocoelom. Complete split of the mesoderm is there. Here mesoderm is still available. Here the mesoderm is only left out to this part, which is just covering it up. Okay, so multiple scattering is there. Okay, scatter pouches will be there. Okay, and this thing is called as what? Enterocoelom. Oh, wait. This structure is called as enterocoelom. This thing is called as schizocoelom. Okay, let's just see that how it is being whatever the fact we know till now. Okay, so the first fact is cytocoelom. It is formed by splitting of mesoderm. Okay, first thing. Second thing is the cavity formed inside the mesoderm called as cytocoelom, which is lined by what? Mesoderm from all sides, which is lined by mesoderm from all the sides. Okay, next examples, which is the most important one. So till now Aschelminthes is done. After that what comes? Annelida. So 3 here, 3 here. Okay, so what will happen? Annelida. After that Arthropoda and Mollusca. These 3 are the ones. Whereas in Enterocoelom, the rest 3 will come. But what is happening over here? In this case, some mesoderm cells attached to gut wall. I told you from gut wall, ectoderm side it will start. Gut wall, proliferate means it's grow. Okay, proliferate means grow. To form pouch like structure, which is filled with what? With the coelomic fluid. Okay, which fills up the space between ectoderm and endoderm. Okay, cavity formed within this pouch is lined by the mesoderm all side. Okay, so here also cavity will lined by, which we have seen it also, lined by mesoderm on all sides. Okay, now if we see the examples, we have what? Echinodermata, we have hemichordata and chordatas. So true coelom appeared first time in what? Annelida. Questions. Okay, so this will be what? True coelom appeared first time in Annelida. These are the all questions which I am also writing it over here when we are studying the animal kingdom. With this, coelom is over. It's a space formed in between the mesoderm and lined by it. 3 types and the examples. Okay, next come the symmetry. Okay, next is symmetry. Now symmetry is what? 10th class or 8th class you might have studied what? That you can divide the things into equal half. If you see me, can you divide me into equal half? You say like, yes sir, I can. If I cut you like this, it will be equal half this. But can you divide me like this? No. Means this is what? Transverse cut. This is what? Vertical cut. Okay. So vertically, if you will cut me from like this part, it will make what? Into equal half. So you can also cut me and then put me in the drum. Like the newses are coming now these days, the wives are chopping their husbands and putting into it. But who even knows that this day will even come, that empowerment is so much. But till now we are not even talking about what happens to the girls as a domestic violence. That's not even a big talk left anymore. Let's just leave it. Next thing is the axis. What is the axis? You might have studied that the earth has what axis on which it's moved, like doing like this, right? So the axis goes from the center of the body. So my body axis is like this. This axis thing is very important. What is a plane? Plane could be like this plane, horizontal plane, okay? Or this is a transverse plane, okay? Sorry, this is not the horizontal. Transverse is the horizontal. This is what? Longitudinal or the vertical plane, okay? So we have to study about what is axis. Axis is what? It is a straight line, imaginary line going through the central axis of your body, okay? So axis is what? straight line passing through center of body. Another option is plane. Plane is what? Two things: longitudinal plane or the transverse plane. Transverse. Now the longitudinal plane is also what? Vertical plane. Transverse is what? Horizontal plane. So I'm not gonna write it more, I'm just gonna let you know, okay? Because these things will come in your throughout the syllabus, okay? So vertical plane is like this. For example, this is what your Varun sir, and some of one want to kill me like this. So this is what final destination 1 type, okay? So you are cutting me like this. So this is the longitudinal ones. What is the transverse one? This is another option in the multiverse. This is the multiverse Varun, and you want to kill the Varun sir from this area. So this is the transverse cut. Understood? Let's just see that what are the symmetry. So there are organisms which can be asymmetrical or symmetrical. Okay. So if we are going by the symmetry, organisms could be what? Organisms could be asymmetrical, or they could be symmetrical. Okay, if they are symmetrical or asymmetrical, means you can't cut them anyway. Okay, for example, their body can't be cutted from anywhere. For example, if the organism is like this is the organisms. This is the organisms. It is what? Asymmetric organisms. No plane can cut it into 2 equal parts. You can cut me at least by the vertical plane, longitudinal plane, into 2 equal parts. Here you can't. Okay. So here what will happen? Any body, any plane, no plane can cut body into 2 equal halves. Okay, means it is not Taj Mahal. Taj Mahal can be cut into 1, 2, like dimensionally they look similar, right? Let's just see that examples. Which phylum shows this? It was shown by the phylum Porifera, where also they have some exception, 2 exceptions, that is Sycon and Leucosolonia. Okay, so that is what phylum Porifera belongs to this. Now you will say, like, sir, what is this Porifera? Everywhere examples, exception is coming for this only. What we can do, beta? They are like this. Okay, example, phylum Porifera are asymmetrical except 2 of them. Except what? Sycon and Leucosolonia. These 2 are what? They are symmetrical. Which kind of symmetry? Radial symmetry. We will learn it later on. They are radial symmetrical. Okay, now symmetrical. Symmetrical means through one, like any, if we put a plane, it can be divided into 2 equal parts. Okay, so body can be divided into 2 equal parts. Now it is of 2 types, radial symmetry or bilateral symmetry. Okay, this thing we have to study. We will study this. So we have first is the radial symmetry, and we have what? Bilateral symmetry. Okay, now the radial symmetry is what? That radius. What is the radius says that? Radial, what is coming from radius? Radius means from any part you will do it, you will find it an equal radius of the circle. Here also there. What it is, just listen very carefully. What it is, that if you cut it through any plane, you will get a 2 equal halves. Means it is like a ball. Okay, ball you will do, cut like this, it will be 2 equal halves. If you cut ball like this, it will also 2 equal halves. If you cut like this, okay, so if more than one plane you can cut it into 2 equal halves, it is called as a radial symmetry. Now whether it's 2, 3, 4, it's up to them. Okay, so what happens is that any number of planes passing through central axis, okay, anywhere which is going, passing through central axis, divides animal into two equal halves. Okay, we call it what? Radial symmetry. Example is what? Cycon, which we have already done it. Cycon, Leucosolania. These are the animals' name. So we have to underline it because they're species and we have to underline the species. Chapter number 1. Okay. Then comes what? Coelentratas. Then we have what? Ctenophoras. And there is what? There is adult of Echinodermata. Adults of Echinodermata. In Echinodermata, there is what? Starfish present. Okay, so if I have to make it like this, so if what will happen? This is how their body is. Starfish. Now the starfish will happen what? You can cut it into this plane. 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 You can even cut it into all the planes. This is done. All the planes are done. Okay. So what happened? That 5 planes you can cut it up. So this is what? Radial symmetry example. So adult of echinoderms are like this. Echinoderms, we will remember that starfish. Okay. Then bilateral. Bi means 2. So you can, okay, wait a second. In bilateral symmetry, what happened? The body of organisms can be divided into 2 halves by only one plane. Vertical, horizontal hardly matters. Like for example, my body, you can cut it into just one this longitudinal plane, then it will be 2 equal halves, but it is happening. So my body symmetry would be what? Bilateral. So rest of the examples which are there, they are what? Bilateral symmetry. So that is what? From Platyhelminthes to Chordata, except adult of Echinodermata. Then what is what? Baby of Echinodermata, we will call it larva. They are bilateral symmetrical. Okay, this is all about symmetry. I hope this thing is understood to you. Next classification is notochord. What is notochord? Chord word says that it's kind of some stick. Yes, it is a stick. Where it is present? It is present on the dorsal side. What does this dorsal side means? So our body has 2 sides. One is ventral, one is dorsal. Like the side which is towards the sun, we call it dorsal. The sides which is away from the sun is called as ventral. Okay, let's see a cockroach. Cockroach is moving like this. So how it will move? Think about it. If I'm a cockroach, I will look like So in my body, this side of the cockroach, where the wings are there of the cockroach, they will be what? Dorsal side. Whereas this side of the cockroach, where the legs are there, this will be what? This will be the ventral side of the cockroach. Same goes with your frog. The frog upper surface which you see, it is what? Dorsal. The belly where it is present, it is what? Where the hands are being pushed. This area is what? Ventral of the cockroach. Think about me. What is my dorsal and ventral? Sir, this is dorsal. No, beta. This is the dorsal side of us. And this is the ventral side of us. Okay, same goes for a hand. Tell me in my hand, this side is what? This side is what? Think about where the more tanning is there. Tanning is there, sir. Tanning is here. This is more whiter side. So means where the tanning is there means sun is coming over here, na beta. So this is what? My dorsal side of the hand. This is my ventral side of the hand. Okay, so this thing we will remember. So notochord is present on the dorsal side, means it will be present on this side. Okay, is it present in my body? No. The question is that why no, sir? Because it has been changed. During the embryo stage it was present. When I was baby in my mother womb, I had notochord, but later on it is changed. That we will learn later on. So notochord is what? It is a rod like structure. Rod like structure. Okay, it is what? Mesodermal origin. Means mesoderm will make it. Okay, mesoderm in origin. Okay, formed on dorsal side. Formed on dorsal side. During when? During embryonic development. During what? What happened? During embryonic development. Okay, next it is later on it is formed what? It will form change into the skeleton. Okay, so it is become the part of the vertebral column in us. Okay, so forms internal skeleton. Which part? Vertebral column. So vertebral column is this. Okay, so vertebral column is in reality what? Notochord. Okay, so vertebral column. Okay, it provides support to the body. Okay, so it do what? Provides support to the body. Support to body. Now on the basis of notochord, two types of organisms are there, and that is how we are also dividing our studies. That is what? Two types: non-chordates and chordates. Chordates which has present, non-chordates which do not has present. So our next two video will be non-chordates and chordates, and with this the chapter would be over for you. Okay, so that is what? On the basis of notochord, organisms are divided into two. What are the two types? Non-chordates and chordates. Non-chordates are what? Non-chordates are those which do not have notochord. They do not have notochord. And chordates are what? Which have it. Have notochord present. Have notochord present, or it's certain phase in their life cycle. Okay, so non-chordates are what? Non-chordates are from the phylum Porifera to Hemichordata, and this is what? Only chordate. That's it. So now your next video that gonna be coming, that would be about the non-chordate, and the last video would be about the chordate. That's how your animal kingdom would be finished. Let's just see that another thing, that what is notochord and what is nerve cord. Okay, so question is, what is the difference between notochord and nerve cord? Now notochord is what? It is a rod-like structure. It is changed into the vertebral column. It is present in chordates but not in the non-chordates. What about the nerve cord? Nerve cord is made up of nervous tissue. It forms what? Nerve net. It is present in non-chordate and chordates, but its location is different. Understood this thing? So let's just do this part. So what it is? Let's see that this can come in your NEET definitely as a difference, higher chances, and in your academic exams also. So 11th class, be very sure about it. So notochord and nerve cord. So notochord is present only in this tick means present only in chordates. It is present in both chordates plus non-chordates. Next thing, where it is present? Dorsal side. Okay, so present on dorsal side of the body. Now this nerve cord is the most important topic over here. In non-chordate and chordates, location is different. Okay, so non-chordates and chordates. So where this would be present? In chordates, it is present on the dorsal side, whereas in non-chordates, it will be present on the ventral side. This nerve cord where the nervous system would be present, it is hollow. Okay, so it is what? It is hollow in case of chordates, where it is solid. Then this is what, in our case single, we belongs to chordates. It is what? Double. So just opposite of it. So if you remember one other, you can remember it. So what is this? VSD is for non-chordates, DHS, okay, for the chordates. So remember it's like that. VSD non-chordate, DHS is for the chordates. Okay. Then the next thing is that this forms notochord will form the internal organs. It will form what? Nervous systems. So it forms skeletal system. Which part? Vertebral column. Okay. And it forms nervous system. Since nervous system is present in everyone, so nerve name itself saying that same thing. Okay. Next, with this, notochord is over. I hope you would have understood it. Next is segmentation. Okay. So next comes segmentation. Segmentation is what? Body has segments present. Okay. Parts present. Like for example, in our body, abs are what? Segmentations. Remember it like this. Okay. So segmentation is what? They are the divisions or differentiation of body into different parts called segments. I gave you example of how you remember abs. Okay, so segmentations, on the basis of segmentation, it could be of two types of organisms. One organisms which has true segments, other is what? False segments. Okay, so there is what? True segments, true segmentation, or there could be what? False segmentations. False segmentation. Okay, true segmentation means that in their embryo or in their larva as well as in their adult form, both has segments present. Okay, and false segment means the larva do not have, but the adult has that. Okay, so this thing would be there. So this is what? Segmentations of embryonic origin. Which means what? Larva plus adult both have segments. Okay, here the segments are not of embryonic origins. Embryonic origins means larva do not have, but adults have. And this is why it is called as what? Pseudo segmentations. Or segments are also called as metamers. These are called as what? Metamers. Segments. Okay, called. So these are what? Pseudo segmentation or pseudo-metameric segmentations. Okay, or it is called as pseudo-metameric segmentation. Okay, whereas these are called as what? Metameric segmentations. And these are what? Repeated phenomena of the similar cuts. Okay, so these are what? Segments are what? Phenomena of serial repetition. Phenomena of serial repetition of body part is called as metamerism. And it is called as pseudo-metamerism. Okay, now here the segments that are formed, it's called as proglots. Okay, segments called as proglots. Okay, and here these segments are called as metamers. Segments called as metamers. All these things are very important. Now the examples. So example here, it occurs in Annelida. Example, earthworm. All of the Annelidas has that. Okay, so earthworm is the example of Annelida, which has segments throughout its body, internal also, externally also. Okay, have both internal and external segmentation. External segments. Okay, Annelida is one example. After that we have Arthropoda. Arthropoda has only external segmentations, not internal segmentations. Okay, then Arthropoda. Arthropoda means your insects. So Arthropoda, like your cockroach, has segments. Now you might have seen that if you do it like flip it up, you will see the cuts. These are segments, but they are present only on the outside, not on the inside. Okay, so example, cockroach has only external segmentations. External segmentation. And third is Chordatas, which has only internal segmentations in its vertebral column. Okay, have only internal segmentations. I hope you will remember the facts. Okay, then these are seen in case of what? Tapeworm. Tapeworm belongs to what? It belongs to Platyhelminthes. Platyhelminthes has both internal and external. Okay, has in the adults, okay, not in the larva, has both internal and external segmentations. With this, segmentation is over. Remember it, very important terms and everything. Okay, next come what? Blood vascular system. Blood vascular system means how the blood is being flown. How the blood is flown in your body? Your blood goes for heart pump, it goes to the arteries, goes to the organs, then it comes back through with the help of veins back to the heart, right? This is what? Closed system, that it is what? Closed, present inside it. But what if the heart pumps and blood just flows out from the heart? So drooling out, like you are filling a bucket fills till the top and then the water is flowing out. Okay, so this is what? The open circulatory system. Okay, so two circulatory system are there. Circulatory system. Okay, so there could be what? Two types, and the first time this is being seen in case of Annelidas only. Before that, circulatory system is not present. Okay, so first time seen in Annelida. Now two types are there, open and closed. I have told you what open means what? Which do not have blood vessel present, blood is flowing out like a bucket is completely filled and you still filling it up with the tap water. Okay, so this is what? Open circulatory system and closed circulatory system. In the open circulatory system, what happened? Blood is pumped into open space. Pumped into open space. What is that space? Coelomic cavity has certain space left out. That open space, and we called it what? Called sinus. Okay, sinuses. Capillaries are not present in their case. Okay, so capillaries, arteries and blood vessels are can be little bit present but not much. They are also open end, so everything just flows out. Okay, so capillaries are absent. So what happened? Tissue is directly bathed into the blood. Okay, so tissue / organs directly bathe in blood. So this cavity which is filled with the blood now, so coelomic area which is free where the organs are not, it is filled with the blood, is called as hemocoel. Okay, so coel is for the coelom cavity, and the hemo means blood filled cavity. So body cavity is filled with blood and is called as hemocoel. Okay, examples. The example to this is what? Leech. It has an open circulatory system. Arthropoda, non-cephalopods. Mollusca means cephalo word is for the head. So those mollusca which do not have head. Okay, it doesn't mean they don't have, but differentiation like head-like structure is not there. Mollusca, hemichordatas, and urochordates, which is a part of a chordate. Okay, so chordates also have this kind of thing. Closed circulatory system. Here what happened? Blood is pumped into blood vessels, okay, which is what? Artery, veins, capillaries. Here capillaries are present and blood exchange through it. Okay, tissues are not directly coming in contact with the blood. Tissues are not in contact with blood. Because capillary is only doing the give and take things. Okay, and hemocoel is absent. Now comes the major part, that is examples. So they are what? All annelidas except leech. So leech belongs to what? Annelida. Any other example from the annelida? Earthworm. Okay, so except leech. These exceptions are the most important ones. Okay, then we have cephalopods, mollusca, because non-cephalopods would be what? In the open circulatory system. Chordates except urochordates. Okay, this is all about what? Circulatory system. Next come the digestive system. Now digestive system could be incomplete or complete. Incomplete means that their proper both organs, mouth and anus, is not being formed. So that is what? Coelenterata and platyhelminthes. There they have only what? Blind sac and all those things. If properly formed means what? Complete digestive system is there. So digestive system means there are two types. That is what? Incomplete and complete. Incomplete digestive system means that like blind sac, body plan, where only one opening is there. Present. Example what? Coelentratas and platyhelminthes. Why I am not taking Ctenophora? Because better Ctenophora has what? It has a atypical. It has two anus and one mouth. Means it has more than two openings, which is acting. Okay. Platyhelminthes. Complete digestive system means has two opening, mouth and anus. Okay. That is what? Tube within tube, body plan, has two opening, acting one as mouth, another as anus, and it is fixed. Okay. Example, Aschelminthes, two chordatas. This is digestive system. And the last thing that is over here, you have to remember about digestion. Digestion could be of two types. That is extracellular or intracellular. Extracellular means outside the cells, means in the cavity, means outside cell in a cavity. Like cavity is what? Stomach. Whereas intracellular means that inside the cell. inside cell digestion occur. So means whatever the food is there, it will be first taken into the individual cell and then they will digest it. Where it occurs? Intracellular occur, example Porifera. Whereas extracellular occur in case of Platyhelminthes, two chordatas. Now the major question is, what about Ctenophora and Coelomate? They have both extracellular and intracellular. Okay, so here I am gonna writing it. Ctenophora and Coelomate has both intracellular and extracellular. Intracellular and extracellular digestion. I hope this thing is understood. We will learn this more again and again in the further topics, okay, when we are studying the phylum. With this, the basic of classifications is over. I know it's a bigger videos and next two videos of Animal Kingdom will also be bigger, but I want to complete and sync this in as much as small time so that you don't have to wait too much. Well, if you are liking these videos, give it a like. This video is all about the basics of the classification for Animal Kingdom. We're going to be releasing two more videos next week, Monday and Tuesdays. One would be for the non-chordates, other would be the chordates, and we're going to be learning and winding up this chapter for you. If you're liking my videos, give it a like, share it with your friends, your classmates, and that motivates me all when you give comments, when you like, and when you even subscribe to me, and that bell icon is also being taken up. Well, that's all for this video. Do let me know that how you are feeling, how you are motivated, and motivation classes will soon be also released on this. Well, that's all. Thank you.